finally, we have the t-shirts back in stock, my darlings. What is delayed is not denied. We have it in blue. Since you loved it so very much indeed, my darlings, you better go ahead and get your t-shirt before it sells out, because I just might go ahead and do a yellow t-shirt for you and an orange t-shirt. You have to bear in mind, Baby Girl is a small brand. We are self-funding here, so I can only do so much. But yes, the t-shirt is back and I am living and loving. I also have a surprise for you. Yes. You asked and I said, why not? We have brought the black t-shirt back. What is delayed is not denied. Are we living and loving? Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? A lot of you have told me, Fumi, please put it back in what you're wearing today. We love it. So I said, why not? Today I'm wearing H&M and I bought this a couple of weeks ago. I absolutely love it. It's a two-piece, as you can see, and then just look at the bottom. It's got this shaggy. I live for it. So when I wear my heels, it really looks absolutely fabulous. Sometimes I'll wear it with a belt. Today I'm just leaving it nice and loose, and it's so comfortable. Love. So why are we here? I will tell you why we are here. Gayle King, Oprah Winfrey's bestie, sat with the podcaster called her daddy, and baby, when I tell you, she had a lot to reveal. We had known, let me speak for myself, I had known that she had caught her husband in a compromising position. I had known that her husband had cheated on her. The story that I got was that she actually caught them in bed together. Needless to say, on the podcast, she gave us a blow by blow. And she told us that she was actually, coming from the airport. I think their flight was cancelled. She was coming with her 2 little children. So this relationship, or marriage, should I say, was for sure under 10 years old. She got home where her husband told her that she could not come in. So she said, why can't I come in? He said, somebody is here. She said, who is here? Step aside. Look at your children. What are you talking about? I'm coming from the airport. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Of course, this is what you're thinking. My flight has been cancelled, so the suitcases have to stay packed because we still have to go to where we're going. Needless to say, she walked in. She started, sniffing around, and she found out, oh my God, hold on. I got to come back to you. I am so sorry, my darlings. When I tell you, there's all kinds happening behind the scenes. It's kind of funny, laughy, exciting. So that was just a quick message from New York. Needless to say, Gayle scouted around her house, and I think it's the biggest hurt. It happened to be her best friend. Her best friend was married. Her best friend was called auntie by her children. They ate together. They went to dinner together. They went to each other's houses as couples together. That kind of hurt and betrayal, Gayle looked like, say what now? And that was the end of that marriage.
I know Oprah had an opinion on your ex-husband.
Oh, Lord. Yes, she did.
I want to talk a little bit more about that marriage.
Yes.
I know, because you just mentioned infidelity was one of the major reasons that it ended.
Yeah.
And I want to get to that. But first, before the affair, how were you feeling about that relationship? Like, were you happy?
It's a good question. I was happy. And you know how they say the wife always knows? I swear to God, I did not. And people say, well, of course you know. No, I really didn't. Now, it's not like we hadn't had arguments or anything, but I didn't think that it was in such disrepair that he was boinking around. I did not think that.
When, if you were happy, do you think it shifted for you?
Well, I mean, hindsight is always 20/20. I always say if I was writing a book, the first line in my book would be whack, the sound of a tennis ball. And she said, nice shot, Bill. And the way she said it, there was such a intimacy in her voice that the hair stood up on the back of my neck, and I thought, why am I feeling that way? It was weird. Because she was married too. We were married. We both had 2 little kids, so our kids were friends. The spouses were friends. But there was something about the way she said, nice shot, Bill, that I looked, and it looked I thought, did I see them looking at each other? And when I asked him in the car, what are you talking about? They try to gaslight you, by the way. What are you talking about? And so he goes, absolutely not. So I did think, oh, you're just overreacting to what? But I did have a visceral reaction to that. That said, I still didn't think anything. And Oprah always says, you know, sometimes you get a whisper, and then when you ignore the whisper, then it becomes a little pebble, and then you ignore the pebble, and next thing you know, it keeps going, and then you have a full-blown catastrophe. Mine was I came home and caught him unexpected. I wasn't due home. So, but, you know, people say, the therapist said, it probably had to be that extreme for you to believe it. Because if you had caught them and they weren't buck naked, Alex, in my friggin' towel, if you hadn't seen it, he might have said, oh, she was just over here. We were
working on something.
Yes, working on something.
Okay, wait. Can you take me to that day? Like, how did you walk in on
Well,
that?
this was back in the day when you would go. I used to drive myself to the airport then, Alex.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Miss Gayle King.
Before Uber and Lyft and when you call it a car service. But I drove myself to the airport, and the airline would call you to say, listen, your flight has been canceled, but you can if you get on the next one, you can get out of there. So I was in DC, and, you know, Kirby and Will were little. They were like 2 and 3 at the time. So, you know, I said, guys, we got to hurry, go. I'd driven myself to the airport, so I didn't even have time to call and say, look, the flight was da-da-da-da-da, I'm coming home. I didn't have time to do anything. We got to the airport, got in the car, came home. And the alarm was set, which I thought, that's strange, because you're in here by yourself. You're a big-ass, grown-ass man. He never sets the alarm. And next thing I know, he comes flying out of the room, and he's got a towel on. He goes, you can't come in. What do you mean I can't come in? What are you talking about? He goes, you can't come here. Come in. Someone's here. I go, someone like who? There's nobody here. I mean, I was so oblivious. There's nobody here. Get out of the way, Billy. There's nobody here. He goes, really, you can't come in. And so I start searching the house because I didn't believe him. I get down, and there they are, or there she is, cowering behind the door. In my towel, Alex, was a nice bath sheet. In my towel.
What did you say?
I said, I can't believe that you are here and that you are doing this. I can't believe that you are doing this.
She was your friend.
Yes. And I even said, I thought we were friends. It sounded so pitiful. I thought we were friends.
And so your kids were in the house. How did you manage?
Well, I had a nanny. She was from Jamaica. And I did leave the kids outside because he was so adamant. They're little toddlers. So Verge is with the kids. And I said, Verge, take the children and go to the back room and shut the door. And she said, what is it? What is this, Mom? What is it? I said, so-and-so is here. Let's give her a nice name. What's a good name?
Casey.
Yeah, Casey is here. And so she goes, and I said, and they're naked. Now, Verge is an old Jamaican woman. She goes, Lord of his mercy, Mom. Lord of his mercy. Lord of his mercy. Oh, Mom, she peed in your toilet, Mom. I go, Verge, I don't need that right now. Just take the kids and just go in the back room and shut the door. And she was married. And I said, I'm calling him, her husband. And he goes, don't call because they have a good marriage. They have a good marriage. And so he said, please don't call. So he goes, I'm going to take her to the train station so her husband can pick her up so he won't know. So they left and went to the train station. I called Oprah. Oprah goes, wait, let me get this straight. He left you there alone and went with her? And she said, oh, girl, you don't even know how bad this is. And then she said, well, fuck him. Call her husband. I go, you think I should call? Yes, call. Now, by now, it's been 2 hours. So I call him, and you know what he said? He said, she told me you would be calling. She said that you came home early, unexpected, and you drew the wrong conclusion. And she told me you would call and say that you thought they were having an affair. He said to me, you are delusional and out of touch with reality, and I suggest you get some help. Well, then I said, okay, you think I should get some help? Does your wife have a pink satin pajama top? Does she have some green mint panties that go with that? And oh, by the way, there are semen stains in my bed. So am I delusional and out of touch with reality? And then I said, go fuck yourself. And I hung up the telephone.
think we should talk about it.
You do?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I do. And I'm proud of her for, saying that and sharing this that happened, because it has happened to many of us. You remember every detail of the whole situation, and it stays with you forever. So when you can share it, somehow that's therapeutic. It's a catharsis when you can really share it and someone else can say what their experience has been. So,
and I think what you
appreciate
just said too, it's like it happens to many of us, so that there shouldn't be shame around it, especially on the woman.
Did you feel like you had to hide or not address it? Now you're like, listen, this is me.
I couldn't hide. It was all over the news.
Well, I mean,
I didn't talk about it necessarily very publicly, but I did talk about it.
Yes.
I did not carry the shame. I talked about it with my friends. I talked about it with other women. I just didn't go on there were children involved, so I didn't go on a public rampage about things, but I did talk about it, and it was very, very helpful.
And
he didn't only cheat on you, he cheated on the children, he cheated on you as a unit, and that character has always been in him. The situation is that you did not see it. You did not see it. You married him, you bore children with him, you thought that you will build and grow a life with him, and that was not the case, because there are some women who will say, how do we get past this? And there are some women who will say, that's it, I gotta get up and out of here, because it begins to really play on your mind. How long has it been going on for? Have there been other women? Why didn't I see it? Is something wrong with me? You gain weight, you lose your confidence, you don't know who to trust, you don't know what female friends you can bring around to the house. It plays such a number on you, and yet this was you, a good wife, a loyal wife, a wonderful mother, trying to just live your life day by day, and somebody who you trusted, who is your brother, your father, your husband, your son, your confidant, your best friend, betrays you in such a way that it is very difficult. Let me speak for myself. To sit over dinner and say, well, let's, forge something forward from this. I just can't do it. For me personally, no. And let me tell you, I have been cheated on too. It was a long, long time ago. I was 19, and I had, my boyfriend didn't know that I was coming. It was just a spur of the moment. Needless to say, when I got there, the security guard was behaving funny, and he didn't want me to go in. So I was like, what's wrong with him? Does he need more money? Because we always give, our staff money, and you give other people's staff money. And I gave him money, and he was still very, hesitant. Needless to say, I came in, and boyfriend was very huffy and puffy, and he lived with his parents in an ensuite. Remember, I was 19. He must have been in his early 20s. And he had an ensuite. Ensuite is where you have your bedroom, and then you have your own private bathroom. I jumped onto the bed, and he was off, but I didn't pay any attention to it. More than anything, I thought because he wasn't expecting me, maybe he was doing something else, and so, that was that. I didn't think anything of it until I lay on the bed, and my head, like the pea and the princess, I felt something underneath the pillow. I brought it out, and as soon as I opened the wallet, I saw who the girl was. I knew who the girl was, and I marched straight to the bathroom, and she was there, naked. And I walked out, and I tell you, it was between tears, a gut punch, a slap in the face. I was extremely cold. I was extremely hot. And I didn't remember how I got back home that day. He had the audacity to come to the house. And when I tell you it was an out-of-body experience, I just found myself telling him that for his own safety, it was strongly advisable that he left. And my parents were looking at me because they had never seen this version of me ever. I had never seen that version of me ever. So I understand it very well, but I never felt any shame. And I didn't look to her as she was of no importance. It was glaringly obvious that I did not know this guy, and now I knew you, and because I knew you, I could not unknow you. Do you know what I mean? Needless to say, the husband came out with the statement, and here it goes. William Bumpus, he told TMZ, my deepest apologies to Gayle. to our daughter Kirby and her husband Virgil, to our son William and his wife Elsie, and to our 3 grandchildren for the pain I caused decades ago. Remember I said, you don't only cheat on her, you cheat on the family. And this man has now been able to see, after time has passed, the damage he did to his children, the consequence he affected their marriages and his grandchildren. He goes on to say, those actions were mine. I have long owned them, including publicly in my own words in 2016, which I still stand. He continues, Gayle has every right to share what was a painful chapter that changed the trajectory of our marriage and our family nearly 40 years ago. I respect her right to tell her story. That's where I'll leave it. Gayle's ex added, what I will say is this. I remain endlessly grateful to Gayle. She gave me 2 of the greatest gifts of my life, our daughter Kirby and our son William. It was Gayle who encouraged and supported me through getting my Yale law degree. And it was Gayle who chose with me to co-parent successfully from the very beginning. A testament to our shared commitment to our children above all else, and now our grandchildren. The love and the camaraderie we forged in that work have carried us all these years. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. That was a mouthful and I appreciate it. But that's a man who has taken accountability for what he did. And may I add, he regrets it. They always do. You had a family, you had a unit, you have people that love you. I know people that don't have love in their life. It's empty. And because of that, they're dark. Because it's dark, it's bitter. You had a family that you could have grown old with, that would know you from season to season to season. And you threw it all away because you wanted something that you don't necessarily have access to. And why do I do these videos? I do these videos for the women out there, for all of the messages that you send me in the DMs, that cry, that feel hopeless and helpless, that you still love him. You have every right to still love him. This is a shock. To just disengage like that from the love is impossible. It was impossible for me. As angry as I was with my boyfriend at that time, I still loved him. That was where the hurt was from. It was, do you not see how much I love you? Do you not see that I would have gone to the end of the earth with you? Did you not see that I had all of these plans for you? I bumped into him at the airport with Adrian. I had just given birth with Ula. And he looked at me and he could not believe it. And he said, Fumi. And I said, da-da-da-da-da. I've forgiven you. I've moved on. My life moved on. And I think that men should be very much in support of their partners and wives. Not only for them as wives, but be support of their careers. Because Gayle's husband said, I cannot wait for this Gayle King SHIT to be over. She was blooming and she was doing very well as a journalist. And all of a sudden, that is not what you wanted. You wanted to be the star of the show. Never compete with your wife. Never compete with your husband. You're on the same boat. All of you are winning. All of you, both of you, are showing your children what you can become. For the girls, for the boys, what you can become. But most important, it also shows how parents treat each other and how the children watch. And it affects them. It does. There should be never any shame. Don't be ashamed for what he did. It's none of your business. You were evidently too good for him and he couldn't handle the hot sauce. Find somebody that can praise you, that can walk along you, that does not mind to be behind, does not mind to stay at home and look after the children. How are you doing? How is life with you? I'm so proud of you, Fumi. I cannot believe it. Everybody dancing. Yay! That's what we need sometimes for those that are out there in this foreign territory. Do you not think that Gayle wasn't scared? Do you not think that Gayle wasn't nervous for her career? Because 99% of the time, we are just living and loving what we do. We don't see the reward. We don't see the applause. You don't see the money and the opportunities. We love what we do. And that's what it is. Do what you love. Everything else will come. But never be ashamed. For a man cheating on you, he never saw your worth. But your worth, baby girl, is non-negotiable. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you what? I'll see you sooner than later. All of my love. Coming in hot with the Juvia's Place blushed duos, darling, for that transition blurred blush. Put it underneath your eyes. From there you go onto the apples of your cheeks, and it is so gorgeous, it's so gentle on you. And then you go in with the deeper shade, and this is where the magic comes. You bring this all the way up to the temples of your face. It's like a mini facelift. I absolutely live and love. Darlings, you have to grab it. You have to have it. You can use it on your eyes as well. Put a little bit of Juvia's highlighter. Then you go in with the Juvia's setting spray. Keep that all day glamorous, from work to dinner to drinks. Darling, you are the epitome of glamour. Thank you, Juvia's Place. The duos are a what? They're a must-have. Mwah.
Guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking